Hello and welcome to my review of Doctor Who, the TV movie. The reason I'm doing this review is because currently I'm at a stage in my top 10 best and worst list where I'm starting to get a bit bored. It's just, I don't have the motivation to do them, so I'm doing a few random reviews just to get me into the swing of things again. So this will be uploaded as a review. So yeah, we're going to review the TV movie. So the plot. The Doctor is taking the Master's remains as a request back to Gallifrey, as the Master has been on trial by the Daleks and exterminated. Why the Daleks would put him on a trial, we don't know. But on the course of that, the Doctor, the Master escapes his casket, and moves about as a weird worm thing or snake thing, and causes the TARDIS to go haywire and land in 1999 Earth in San Francisco. So the Doctor's attempting to stop this, ends up getting shot in an alleyway and regenerates into Paul McGann. Meanwhile, the Master possesses a body, a human body, and they basically chase after each other for a while, and the Master opens the Eye of Harmony, which could destroy the entire planet. Why you put a death weapon in your TARDIS, I don't know, but never mind. And then the Doctor is basically looking for an atomic clock to try and fix his TARDIS and the Eye of Harmony. But the Master wants to take the Doctor's remaining regenerations and his body. So, we'll move on. 2 good points. So I wrote a list. I always do now. The soundtrack of this movie is great. It is a brilliant soundtrack. It's got very fast-paced music for chases and things. It's just really good music. It fits the movie. Epic. It's like epic music for a movie. It's just unfortunate that this movie wasn't as big as it was. The TARDIS layout or interior is fantastic in this episode. I think it's well designed, it looks really good, and it kind of fits the older 7th Doctor and the new 8th Doctor. It fits their personalities, I think, a lot. It's nice to see the 7th Doctor. We get to see Sylvester McCoy at the beginning of the movie regenerate into the 8th Doctor, who's Paul McGann. I like the idea of the Doctor losing his mind after regenerating. I think that is a good thing that happens in this episode. Paul McGann loses his mind for a bit, and I think it's really good. I do like the little Tom Baker reference with the scarf in one of the locker rooms when the Doctor looks in the lockers to find a new costume, which is a bit like the 11th Doctor does with his costume, finds it in a hospital, as you do. I like the Edwardian costume that the 8th Doctor makes out of stuff he finds in the lockers. I think it's a very good costume in general. Very Edwardian, and it just fits Paul McGann to the just fits him very well. The Eighth Doctor's personality is brilliant. It changes a little bit throughout the episode due to he remembering who he is and stuff like that. But I think it's quite a good personality. It has bits and pieces of the other Doctors, which is really good. But it also has its own little twist, and I think the bits and pieces that he takes from other Doctors are really good bits to have. Eric Roberts performs the Master quite well, even though it's very different. He's not an evil British guy with a goatee, he's an American guy with aviators. But it still fits really well. I think for the Master possessing a guy, I think it fits really well, and I think he acted it really good. The acting and characters are really good in this episode. Sorry, in this movie, TV, feature, and film. I can't really say any of the acting was bad, because it wasn't. The acting was really good. Seeing the Doctor around the TARDIS is good. When you see the Doctor with the TARDIS, I think it brings out a lot of personality when the Doctor's flipping switches on the TARDIS and things like that. And I think Paul McGann got it spot on. And as a whole, the film, it ends well. It has a nice little ending with the companions, like with Grace, the companion, at the end, but also just when the Doctor's in the TARDIS on his own. But it's a shame it never continued into at least a series, really, because it would have been nice to see the Doctor maybe return to San Francisco and meet Grace again and deal with some other form of villainy. So yeah, they're all my good points for this TV movie review. Bad points. The Daleks at the beginning of the movie are awful. The voices are awful, and they're just awful. They shouldn't have even appeared. If they were to appear, they should have appeared properly. And not sound like terrible crap. It's a bit of a pathetic end for the Seventh Doctor to be shot in an alleyway. Really. He is an epic Doctor. I know that was basically the plot point, and it had to happen, obviously, to get Paul McGann as the Eighth Doctor. But I really think they should have made it a bit more interesting than just getting shot in an alleyway. And then all that medical looking at his heart ends up stopping his heart and nearly killing him, and all that rubbish. It should have been more epic than just being on a surgical bed. Another thing is, when the Doctor regenerates, how can the Doctor punch down a metal door just after regenerating? Does he get some minor super strength for a bit or something like that? I mean, the door was thick metal, I believe. But never mind. The whole half-human thing is mentioned once or twice in the movie, and never mentioned again, and then never mentioned again in any Doctor Who whatsoever. Now, I have a theory on it. I know there is a theory on it. I don't know if it's canon or not, but their theory is that the Doctor lied to the Master about being half-human. I'm not sure why, but something to trick the Master. I believe, however, even though he says it's on his mother's side, I think that might have been to trick the Master, or to trick everyone. But this is speculation. I'll put speculation at the bottom. I believe because he died and was left so long before he regenerated, his regeneration went a bit wrong, and so it made him more human-like, due to the fact that he was he's been on human anesthetic. The humans were trying to fix him medically, even though he's an alien, so they can't fix him medically. So I believe all that may have influenced his regeneration and made him more human-like. That is my bit of speculation on how I think the Doctor's half human in this movie, and probably the Eighth Doctor in general is half human due to that regeneration process going a bit wrong. And so he returns as a Time Lord when he regenerates back into Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor, or John Hurt, as John Hurt's supposed to be in the middle, but that's completely unrelated. So whomever he regenerates into after his life. Another bad point of this episode is Grace can suddenly work the TARDIS. I mean, she's only met him for, a day or something like that. She's only met him for a little bit, and can suddenly work the TARDIS very easily, like just flipping switches randomly, expecting them to work. I highly doubt that. Actually, just doesn't really seem right to me that she can just pick it up like that. Also, the last bad point, the storyline seems a bit weak for a full-length TV movie. There's not much going on. It's just random chases about San Francisco. It's just not really. Moving on. Overall, I think the TV movie it has its good points. The acting's really good in it. The character work is really good in it. The soundtrack is really good. But the storyline is too weak for a full film. And there wasn't enough for the film, I believe. Which is probably why it wasn't revived into a series, because there wasn't enough there to make it get revived into a series. However, I still enjoyed it to a certain extent. Best performance I give to Paul McGann, whose first appearance and last on screen as the Doctor was really good, and he's generally a really good actor. But yeah, I'm going to give this a rating of 5 out of 10. It would have got a little higher, but as I said, there's just a few. The storyline's a bit weak, really. So, thank you for watching my review. I hope you've enjoyed watching the TV movie review. I will be getting back on to my best and worst Doctor Who stories in due time. So until then, thank you for watching. Goodbye.